that I will invite Mrs. Jeannie Andrews, where's Mrs. Andrews, our music teacher, to come on up. She's going to introduce our special guest, who has found many ways to solve multiple problems. So we're going to take one at a time here. And we also have our friend Mason. I know you're eagerly waiting to see what he's doing up here. But he's going to help solve problems too. So Mrs. Andrews, will you introduce our special guest, please?
Good morning, Petway Patriots. Today we have a very good friend of mine who is from the South Jersey area, and he is the founder of an organization called Wigs Wishes. His name is Martino Cartier. Can you give him a great big Petway welcome? And we're going to hear from Martino in a little bit, but first, Mason is going to resolve a problem. Let's watch. Oh, what is the problem? Mason has really long hair, and we have friends in the community who are going through chemotherapy, who have lost their hair. And one of the things that Martino does for people in the community is to create wigs from donations from people just like Mason. So let's give Mason a big, encouraging wig.
All right. You ready, Mason? Wow, Mason. Woo! Uh-oh. He's got the golden clippers. Whoa, look how fast. I think Martino's done this before. Yes, take lots of pictures. Jen, did you get a picture of them holding the hair that he's donating? Can we take one with him holding the hair that he's donating you? And Mom. Whoa, nothing better than hugging a kiss from Mommy. Hold on, you can Mom say the picture. Go ahead, Martina, get in there. All right, good job. Thank you so much, Martino. Thank you, Lisa. Wonderful job. Thanks for being such a great Petway Patriot, Lisa. All right, my Petway Patriots. We wanted to make sure Mason got done so that he could get on his field trip. But we want to tell you a little bit more about Martino and his foundations and what he does and how he helps resolve problems. So we need to get quiet again. Mrs. Bronson does a quick, it's like a 2-minute video, not even, that will show a little bit more about Martino and Wigs and Wishes.
Wigs and Wishes, a charity founded by Martino Cartier in 2010. Donations help provide over 25,000 wigs that are listening to women battling cancer, empowering them to look cancer-free for free. Wigs and Wishes also grants wishes to children battling cancer. The charity takes a no-red-tape approach, endeavoring to grant wishes as quickly as possible, with the mission to make them smile, if only for a moment. The generosity of Wigs and Wishes has had a global impact as other salons around the world have joined the movement and made a vow to never charge a woman that is going through chemotherapy for hair treatment. If you don't know how to give, you don't know how to live.
All right, to tell you a little bit more, Mr. Martino Cartier, let's give a warm Petway welcome.
What's up, 500 fabulous kids? Yeah, do me a favor, say, I can do anything. Good job. Believe it or not, one day I was your age. So how many of you are 5 years old, or 6 years old, or 7 years old? Yep, I was your age. What about 8, 9, and 10? Wow. What about 11? Anybody 11? Well, guess what? When I was 11, I faced a huge problem. You know what that problem was? I couldn't find my family. And everybody said it would never happen. And I don't have time to get into it because I only have about 10 minutes. But that story of how I found my family is how the world came to know Martino Cartier. Everybody said no, it would never happen. And I never gave up. And I worked really hard. I prayed and I never quit. And 22 years later, I found my family. So, what I'm trying to leave with you today, no matter how big or how small your problem is, guess what? You can do it. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you can't. And you know, when I was in school, I remember coming to school and I loved my teachers. I mean, I had some of the best teachers. You guys have some good teachers? So to the kid who said no, here's my advice to you. I would come to school sometimes in such a bad mood because my dad was so mean and he was always yelling at my mom. But when I got to school, the teachers didn't know that. The teachers didn't know that my dad had just yelled at me or yelled at my mom. And did you know that sometimes teachers get yelled at home and then they come to school and you don't even know it? So you both got a problem. When you realize that, you will realize that your teachers literally are like the slingshot to propel you to success in the world. I'm going to be 50 years old next year, and I still cut some of my teachers' hair from elementary school. That's the relationship I had with my teachers. So, check this out. When I was in high school, I was bullied, I was made fun of, and my parents couldn't buy me the car that every other kid had. So I had this piece of junk that everybody laughed at. And guess what happened a few years later after I worked really hard? Just guess. What'd you say? Come here. What's your name? Yeah, what did you just say? I got a new car. Well, guess what, Vinny? It wasn't just any car. It was a Lamborghini. Now that's $1 million bill so that you never forget. No matter what anybody tells you, if you work really hard, you'll achieve any dream in life. Now time out, time out, time out. 5 Lamborghinis later, I realized, it's coming. I realized having the Lamborghini isn't what defined me as a human being. I met a little boy who had cancer, and his mom wanted a haircut, And I said to her, is there anything I can do to help your little son who's 10 years old and has brain cancer? And she said, the only thing I want is to be able to not work and stay home with my son. So the next weekend, we did something called a cut-a-thon. What a cut-a-thon means is that you put flyers all around your town, and you ask all the teachers in the schools to pass them out, and you cut hair, and whatever the amount is goes directly to that family. So here's what happened with Bobby's situation. We raised $22,000. I say we, this was a long time ago. It was just me. I was a one-man band in a salon. It was just me, a little teeny salon in Petway, New Jersey. Raised $22,000, and that paid the mortgage for that little boy's mom for 2 years, and Bobby lived for 2 years. And that taught me a lesson. It taught me that, one, you can do anything. Two, if you set your mind on a goal that is for the better good of mankind, you will never fail, no matter what anybody tells you. If your heart is in the right place, you will always succeed. You will always soar. You will always find your parents in my situation. So after Bobby, fast forward, I met a little girl named Kiki. I think we have a picture of her. Kiki was 9 years old, and she had cancer. And I did a wig for her, but when she was in my chair, I said to Kiki, is there anything else I can do for you? You'll never believe what she wanted. To meet Justin Bieber. Yeah. So I'm thinking, how in the name of God am I going to let this little girl meet Justin Bieber? And you know what I did? I went on social media, I went on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and I started just posting and posting, and we were trending on the internet, Justin v. Kiki, and then guess what happened? It got to Justin's manager, and they said no. Now watch this. I had two choices. Quit, say I tried all I could do, or keep fighting. That's right. Who said it first? I think the girl in the pink shirt should get $1 million bill to remind you to keep fighting. Go on. So after, watch this, after Keep Fighting happened, 7 months later, that picture was taken November 4th. And that's my son, Justin Bieber, and Kiki. And after she met Justin Bieber, guess what happened? Gotta be quiet for this one. 7 days after she met Justin Bieber, she lost her battle to cancer. And she's no longer with us. And I share that with you for one reason and one reason only. When they said no, had I given up? You're picking up quick, guys. You must have some really good teachers. If I would have taken no for an answer, that little girl would have left this world without the one smile she wanted before that happened. So you can never say no. And I probably have 2 minutes left, so I'm going to speed it up. So listen, I'm going to talk really fast. After Kiki came along, Taylor and Alex. Alex was 16 years old, lived in Orlando, Florida. Wanted to meet Taylor Swift. Nobody would let it happen. Nobody would let it happen. Everybody said no. Everybody said never. But guess what? I didn't quit. And we resolved the problem. And Taylor Swift and Alex at the Red Tour in Orlando. And Alex, too, is no longer with us anymore. So again, another example. It may not be a matter of life and death. But the point that I'm trying to teach you, that I wish I had somebody tell me when I was your age, is that if your heart is right, and if your motives are right, no matter what you want to achieve in life, you will do it. Never take no for an answer. Never, ever, ever say the word never. Just find a way to do it. Again, if your motive's right, your heart's right, and then, you probably can't see this, but that is a bunch of kids from Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and that big tall guy in the middle is Shaq. I brought 10 kids, I brought 10 kids to Florida from CHOP that all had cancer to play basketball with Shaq. And everybody said it would never happen. So, I hope that I've given you a few examples of what happens in life when you really believe, you really try hard, you never say never, you never give up, you always fight, you become that eagle and you just soar through whatever hard thing you're going through. And remember, just because you're having a bad day or something's going on crazy at home, it doesn't mean that your teacher might not be going through that too. Y'all are in the same boat. You know why? Because everybody has problems. And everybody needs everybody to just love. And that's what I loved about pulling in here today. You came in as a visitor, and I'm leaving as family. Whoever came up with that is super brilliant. I think that is like super brilliant. So, after all of this happened, I decided to start a nonprofit called Wigs Wishes. And what sets us apart, there's a few nonprofits that grant kids like you hair when you're, God forbid, are going through some medical treatment like cancer. And there are other nonprofits that also grant wishes for kids. The problem is they have something that adults call red tape. Red tape means you gotta fight and run through and sign papers and wait and hope to get approved and wait and wait. And when you're sick, you don't have time to wait. So I made a vow that we were going to have this nonprofit with no red tape. That means 25,000 women, moms just like yours, aunts just like yours, grandmoms just like yours, get to walk around each and every day looking cancer-free for free because we provide free wigs that look real for all of these brave women that are battling cancer with no questions asked. If you have cancer, you're getting a wig. And thanks to all of you, and with the money that you've raised, and the heart and soul, and the efforts that you put into it, there's probably going to be about 5 women that are going to get to walk around looking cancer-free, having their dignity back because of you. I think you should put your hands together and give yourself a big round of applause. In closing, 3 years ago, my family and I decided to open a petting zoo so that we had a place to bring kids when they were sick, that they could be by themselves and not have other kids pointing, "Mommy, why are they bald?" or whatever, just a safe place. So we started a petting zoo called Zulu with over 100 animals. You're talking peacocks, llamas, alpacas, emus, goats, horses, ponies, pigs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, you name it. And thanks to you, they're going to have a really good dinner tonight because of all the vegetables you raised. So once again, thank you so much for supporting Wigs and Wishes. Thank you for supporting Zulu. And thank you for being 500 awesome kids.
Thank you. Don't go away. Our students during the month of October sold a lot of pink items. We had a pink day. Some of them are wearing our pink fight t-shirts, Fight Like a Patriot. And so we are honored to donate $250 to Wigs Wishes to help anyone out there fighting cancer and to have you continue doing the wonderful work that you do. Thank you so much for coming to Petway today. Thanks, Georgia. But what you do is amazing, and it really does make a difference in the world. Mason made such a difference today. We do have one staff member who also would like to donate her hair. So this is Amanda Malecki. If you would like to come on up. Mrs. Malecki has some super long hair, and I give her credit because I'm a big chicken. They tried to get me, and I couldn't do it. But Mrs. Malecki right away, "Oh, I'll do it. Is always looking to try to help people any way that she can. So we really appreciate her donation. And we thought it would be fun for you guys to see her get her hair done up too. So, one more.
Another great Petway patron. Speaking up against
teachers doesn't want to come up. One was more than happy to come up. Have donated their hair as well. They shave every year for St. Baldrick's Foundation. So they recently did that about a month ago. It's now an entire family affair here of donating our hair. So we are super proud of all of our Moleppis. Great job, guys. Keep up the good work. Good job, Mom. It looks beautiful already, though. There's another one I'm not used to seeing with short hair. All right, guys. And while Martino is doing his artwork there with Mrs. Moleppi, I wanted to show you guys an example. Mrs. Villari, come on out here. Mrs. Villari is a wonderful example of someone who benefited from a wig from Martino. Years ago, he made her a wig, and it made all the difference going through her treatments. And she is a wonderful example of what good work you are doing, what good work donations do, and the cause that when we donated money and you guys gave those donations back in October, it is helping people that we know, people that we see every day, and it made a difference. So, yes, and Mrs. Gloria is obviously still here, still appreciative, and so it made all the difference during those times. So again, I wanted to thank Martino for that as well. And give you guys an example, a positive example right here of Mrs. Villari and all the wonderful work that Wigs Wishes does.
Well, what do you think? She cut off all her hair. She doesn't even see herself yet. See what she thinks. If she passes out, anybody know CPR? Good job. Oh my gosh! That's usually the reaction. Anyway, put your hands together and say thank you for donating your hair. Alright guys, it was awesome spending my morning with you. I'm going to go pick up all the food that you guys raised for the farm. And maybe if you're really nice to your principal, she'll take you on a field trip there one day. Wink, wink.
Thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. Thank you for all you do, not just at Petway, but what a wonderful thing. All right, guys, one more round of applause for Wigs and Wishes and for Martino. And they do. We have to thank Mrs. Gruccio and Flame Farms, who also donated lots of parrots and produce for all of the animals at the Zoo petting zoo. So there are boxes and boxes for you guys there. So we hope they have an excellent dinner tonight.